Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, while much of the U.S. has been in a tizzy about the theoretical threat of terrorist violence in the U.S. by refugees from Syria who are fleeing from ISIS, we actually had a terrorist attack here in the U.S. last week. The attack was committed by 3 white Christians in the city of Milwaukee. They shot 5 Black Lives Matter demonstrators. But these terrorists, they got very little news coverage, even though it happened here on American soil. There hasn't been any hysteria. None of our candidates for president has even talked about it. There has been no talk about a registry of white Christian men or having the FBI infiltrate and spy on right-wing Christian churches. But the fact is that over the past few years, every American killed here on our soil by a terrorist has been killed by a white Christian. So we have plenty of terrorists over here. And in order for ISIS to get somebody into the U.S. Refugee Resettlement Program, here's what they would have to do. This person would have to go to a refugee camp in the nearby area, right? And after they'd been there for a few months, they could apply to the UN Commission on Refugees for admission into the United States. And then they would have to hope that they were one of the 1% of people who do make applications to get to the United States who is cleared by the UN Commission and referred on to the United States. And then they would have to hope that somehow they managed to clear our screening, which would take another 1.5 to 2 years. They would be screened by our FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, our terrorist specialists, the names we compared on all kinds of lists. They would be interviewed several times by different security agencies here. And then possibly after all that, they might get into the United States. Because of that 1%, we only accept a very small percentage of the people that the UN clears. It is far more likely that if somebody is going to come here to try to commit a terrorist act, they're going to come through on the visa waiver program, which we have with the European Union. That's something that definitely needs to be tightened up. But the idea that ISIS is going to send somebody to sit in a refugee camp for 5 years on the off chance that they might get into the U.S. to commit a terrorist act is patently absurd. Thanks for listening.